Hey everyone, welcome back to Glass Seats. This is Viddy.
My name is Mrinal, and this week we are talking PWHL, Professional Women's Hockey League.
Switch it up.
Yeah, so the big news out of that league, they have set the attendance record for professional women's hockey. 19,285 tickets sold on February 16th for PWHL game Montreal versus Toronto, selling out Scotiabank Arena in Toronto.
Huge.
Which is the same arena where the Toronto Maple Leafs play.
Yep.
The previous record was 18,013, which was set in 2013 for Canada versus Finland in the Women's World Championship. And if we exclude international hockey, then the previous record was set earlier this year by the PWHL, 13,316, Minnesota versus Montreal on January 6th.
Yep.
So PWHL has just been breaking records as more of the season goes on. I think this is the third or fourth time they've broken their own attendance record.
Yeah.
Crazy the amount of success they're having.
Yep. I mean, first of all, congrats. That's huge. That's great for the sport. And second of all, I think this is, I hate to say it, but I think this is what happens when you make hockey accessible to watch, you know?
Yeah.
It's so simple to watch it.
Because we are on the West Coast.
Yes.
We are in a lucky situation where there's no PWHL team in our market. I don't know if you want to call that lucky, but I'm calling it lucky.
Yeah.
Because that means for me, all the games are free on YouTube.
Yeah. For now.
Free.
For now. Yeah.
If you are in Canada or on the East Coast, I believe there are TV packages you can purchase to watch those teams. But still, it's way more straightforward than what the NHL's mess is, which we've gone over before.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to watch. And I love that I can just go on YouTube and I can pull up the game. And I think they keep the games up for at least a couple days.
2 days, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So even if I can't watch it right away, I can just go pull it up later.
Yeah. I haven't been able to find the time to sit through an entire game. But yeah, the fact that it's just waiting for me on my homepage, you don't even need a Google account to watch YouTube either, by the way. It's not like Facebook or Instagram where you have to like sign in eventually after seeing an anonymous amount or whatever number of posts.
Or like X where there's no comments.
Twitter, like that, or
Twitter.
Twitter, X. Eventually, once at some point they're going to say, hey, you need to sign in to view anything at all. Nope. YouTube, free. You don't have to sign into Gmail. It's right there. Click, no questions asked. Game's on your laptop.
Yeah.
So
and you can just go on their website, find out what time the game is, and that's it.
Yeah.
So simple.
Yeah. And I think the bigger point I wanted to make here is there is a lot of there's so much talk which kind of makes me upset about, oh, hockey is dying. Hockey's like dying out. I'm like, is it, or is it just not being projected and marketed correctly? Clearly there's a an audience for it. And I think it doesn't matter whether it's, men, women, it doesn't matter if it's like, it doesn't have to be like any sort of specific category. Good, professional, organized, easy to understand hockey that is easily accessible will always have an audience.
Yep.
And
agreed.
The fact that the NHL continuously manages to fuck that up year after year is the reason why people are flocking to the PWHL. I was like, people just want to see good hockey, and they just want it to be organized and feel like it's worth their money. How could you say this isn't?
And these games are so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think one of the best things they've done is previously women's hockey didn't allow hitting.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But let's be real, the physicality of hockey is one of its draws. So what the PWHL has done is, yes, technically no hitting is allowed, but the refs have been kind of letting it go.
Yeah.
So you end up with a lot of, intense board battles. You can't throw a flying hip check on open ice, but who does that in the NHL now anyway?
Yeah.
I don't really miss the difference in physicality with what they have.
Yeah.
You still, can play defensive plays of pushing someone off a puck, and also all that strategy is still there.
Yes.
So it's still a lot of fun to watch.
There's still a very high level of skill that isn't like, there's by no means is it absent, like, or is there a discrepancy between the NHL and the PWHL? It's still very high caliber, very high pace hockey,
And all the games I've watched have been within 1 or 2 goals.
Yeah.
So they're all very tight.
Yeah.
My personal favorite team is Minnesota, just because I've had a soft spot for Kendall Coyne Schofield ever since she showed up all the NHLers at that All-Star game in 2018.
That's right.
If you haven't seen that, she beat the NHLers at the fastest skater competition.
Effort.
So
take note. What's his
Yeah.
name? Kucherov.
Kucherov.
Nikita Kucherov.
Yeah.
Take note. Yeah.
So I've been following Minnesota, and the battle between Minnesota and Montreal this season in the PWHL has been super, super intense. They are currently tied for standings lead.
Okay.
And they've just been switching, like someone will win in one game, someone will win the next one. It's just been going back and forth. Montreal won their latest head-to-head and super tight game, 2-1. But it's been heating up, and we're coming into, I think, about the halfway or just past the halfway point of the PWHL season. So I'm really looking forward to their playoffs.
Yeah.
And, we were just talking about differences between well-coached team and highly talented teams. Another team that's really good this year is Toronto, who's has the leading goal scorer right now in the PWHL, Natalie Spooner. But when I watch Toronto, I see a lot of kind of free-flowing hockey. A lot of talented players are on that team. So you kind of let them see their talent get pulled through. Minnesota is so tight on their systems. They are very good at keeping the puck on the perimeter, and then suddenly a player will dart in or a pass will shoot in, and then they'll shoot right away.
Cycles, yeah.
They're so good at that cycle game. And they use their speed when they can, and they're so well coached. Like I was just talking about in our previous episode, the difference between a well-coached team and a highly talented team.
Yeah.
It's all over the PWHL.
Yeah.
So there's so many reasons to watch it. It's so much fun to watch, and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. Here's to hoping that they continue expanding across the United States as well as Canada. And actually, random question about that is we've seen NHL markets try and unfortunately fail in certain major cities within North America.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be different in PWHL? Do you think there would randomly be a surgence of popularity for women's hockey in, let's say, Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like the thing is, when you have professional sports, and I'm not even limiting this just hockey, any professional sports, you always see popularity at the youth level of that sport increase.
Yeah.
Like most recent example that's coming to the top of my mind is Formula One picked up a lot in the States in the past few years due to Drive to Survive and all of that.
Yes.
And now you see a lot more people into karting and taking their cars for track days. I've just seen across, people I know on social media and stuff that activity has become more popular with Formula One. So yes, there will be a boost, I think, in any city the PWHL goes to. It's just a question of, do you have enough time for that boost to reflect in ticket sales and numbers to make it a viable market, right?
Got it, okay.
Which is why if you look at the original 6, it's markets that are already full of passionate hockey fans.
Of course.
It's Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, Minnesota, Boston, New York. One, there's already a lot of people there, so you have a higher chance.
Yeah.
And two, it's already known, hockey is known popular sport there. And what they've done is a lot of the women who are playing on those teams are from those areas. So they already have homegrown fans.
Yeah.
So they've done a very smart job of setting up those teams. Yeah. So going to non-traditional markets, I should say, like Atlanta, I think might not be imminent. Yeah. But definitely, if the success continues, I think they should.
Yeah. And that would be cool.
The advantage being there is you also won't have to compete with an NHL team for hockey fans.
Right. Yeah.
So if you go markets where the NHL isn't, that might be a growing potential area.
So, I mean, granted, there's so many talks about, Houston and Salt Lake City and whatever, like getting teams eventually, NHL teams eventually. Do you think it's possible? There is a possibility that, the PWHL swoops in and makes it like a women's hockey city? Or do you think it's just going to become a hockey city in general? And that the women will pave the way for that? I
hope they do, because that would be really, really cool to see. I think we're a bit away from that. Okay. Because right now, I believe all 6 teams are owned by the league. And what they want to do is get to more of an NHL style system where each team is owned individually and they all collaborate on this league.
Got it.
So I think that's the first step. And you want to get those 6 teams off the ground. I think previous women's leagues have also struggled where they expanded before they were ready. So I don't want to see that happen. I would rather it stay smaller and stay viable. And, we don't have to start this all over again for another 3 years, which has been happening with women's hockey. Yeah. Is it a pipe dream of mine? Yeah, I'd love to see it. Yeah. I want a team in LA. I want to go watch. Yeah. That's my biggest thing right now is because they're so far, I can't watch in person. Yeah. And that's a whole other atmosphere, right?
Yeah. Just going to a game, I've mentioned this to so many people, going to a hockey game is what kind of converts them into fans.
Yes. I think hockey is better experienced for your first time in the stadium.
I agree. Yeah.
The TV experience these days, I understand for super fans like us is better because, you know, you can rewind, you can see the replays, and you can get really into the nitty details. But just the atmosphere and the love of hockey, I think, comes in arena.
For the first time, just go for the vibes, as I say. Go for the vibes, and you'll understand why people love the sport. Even
going to like a local beer league game sometimes is just so much fun.
So much fun. I still like would love to go back to, you know, college hockey game. When I say college hockey, I don't mean the NCAA. I mean, like, you know.
Yeah, we live in California. Yeah. There's no NCAA teams here.
No, not really.
For hockey.
Yeah. Yeah. College hockey it doesn't matter where you go. It's just an electric sport. And it's really, I mean, I think that really contributes to the fact that 19,285 people wanted to watch this. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know. You can't really go wrong with it. And the fact that it's kind of trailblazing and hopefully making ways for expansion across North America, I think that is the only way we can go about it. And I feel like not supporting it would be wrong at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's so easy. So just do it.
What's the famous saying about the NHL? Best sport, worst league.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And the numbers reflect that.
Have we kind of proven that point? As soon as there's another league, look where everybody's going.
Yep. And it's easy to access. I was like, the NHL continuously shoots itself in the foot. PWHL is learning from all the mistakes the NHL is making and capitalizing on them.
And hockey's better for it.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that. You know what? Like you have my support, and you know, obviously eventually they'll probably expand to the West Coast, assuming this continues its traction.
We might be at the bottom end of that expansion. Let's be real. It goes east. Hockey generally goes east to west, right?
Yeah, but we'll probably beat, like, I don't know, the desert, Arizona or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, maybe we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, LA in the NHL came in the first expansion.
That's true. Yeah. So there's a chance. Yeah. Don't say never. Yeah.
All right, but if you guys enjoy PWHL content, you can guys leave us a like. If you really like it, you can drop us a subscribe.
Yeah.
We're going to try to bring more of these stories here to Glass Seats. So keep it tuned. We have episodes out every week. And if you're listening to us on audio, if you could leave us a rating or a review, helps us grow the show. See you next episode.
Bye.